So as you can see here, there's an unopened Obsidian. There's some parts, and there's my trusty iFixit kit. We're going to be doing ourselves a little build guide on this side of the room, as I said in my other videos where these would normally go. So let's go ahead and let's convert this Obsidian into a hitbox. But before we do any kind of conversions, let me convert you over to our merchandise. I don't know how that works, but I'm going to roll with it. If you head on down to the link in the description, you can go and pick up one of our awesome t-shirts. We have the MK Cross Ugif Tekken t-shirt. That one is a really cool design that I came up with. There is the Do an Electric t-shirt. Again, we have the Revision 2, which has the PlayStation input colors. And then we have the Electric Squad hoodie and the Electric Squad t-shirt. And by the time this goes up, I'm probably going to have some hats and stuff. I saw they added that. But anyway, go down to this link in the description and you can pick yourself up one of our awesome merch items that goes and helps the channel directly. And if you catch us while we're streaming and you go and buy something, we can thank you directly for it on stream. So, a few years ago, I reviewed the Hitbox. I reached out to the Hitbox guys and I asked them if I could do a review of the Hitbox. They were awesome enough to send me over a product and I did a review on it and I quite liked the Hitbox. It was awkward at first, but I got used to it and I was able to put it out within a reasonable amount of time. I think I got it a couple months before I did the review. And even though I wasn't fully converted to Hitbox at that point in time, I still kept it. It was an awesome product, and my friend, who you might have seen on the channel, I call him HurtboxTV. He wanted the Hitbox. He wanted to try the Hitbox. He had been a stick player like me, and he wanted to try the Hitbox. So I gave him that Hitbox. He converted over, and he's been playing on that thing ever since. And this is PS4 and the Xbox One generation we're talking about. So he's a little bit overdue for a new Hitbox that works natively on the PlayStation 4. So I reached out to the wonderful people over at Adark and Quanba, and I was able to get myself an Obsidian because I thought not only would the Obsidian be a great stick, I've reviewed it in the past, it's a fantastic stick, I also saw that Arcade Shock had a conversion kit. There is a conversion kit plexi and metal plate that you can get from their store, and you can convert your Obsidian into a Hitbox. So, I took it upon myself to purchase the parts. Vin over at Arcade Shock was awesome, he helped me out. The guys over at Arcade Shock have always done good by me, so that's why I always buy my stuff from them. So, I've been saying that a lot. We're going to take this thing apart, and we're going to convert it into a Hitbox. Now, I'm not going to show you the artwork on this. This I'm going to try and obscure as best I can because this is a secret for all of you guys. This is some custom artwork I had my awesome friend, Deebs Nuts over on Twitter. He did the artwork for this, and this has been like a month and a half, almost 2 months in the making now. And yeah, I think we're overdue for a build video. We haven't done this in a while, so let's go ahead and let's take all of these parts. Let's take everything out, and we're going to go and build this Obsidian Hitbox. So I'm going to cut to just the build stuff, and let's get going. Alright, so we're done building this arcade stick, or this new converted Obsidian. There was a bit of mishaps. There's a couple of issues that we had. So one was that when Arcade Shock sent me over the Plexi, they forgot to send me over the metal harness. I contacted them in the middle of filming the build portion of the video, and they said it was their fault. They'll take care of it. So they're pretty good on that. So if they ever make a mistake, they're usually pretty alright about it. The second issue was I thought I had enough of those washers, and for some reason they've gone missing on me, so I had to improvise. And I had these weird, I don't have it here, but it's somewhere. I had these weird, like, elasticy kind of bands that are really tight around, and honestly, doesn't move the buttons around all too much or at all. I don't feel anything, so it's good enough. It works. It keeps the buttons there. I'll be fixing this up a little bit once the actual stuff gets sent over and I can properly get this underway. The last thing is after plugging all the buttons in, when it comes to the directional inputs, there is a conversion harness that they sell, and if you get the full kit, you get one of those. You have to pull out some of the pins on that 5-pin JLF connector, and you have to rearrange some of them. I didn't want to do that, so I opted for using one of my other Korean, what are they, the Korean 5-pin JLF harnesses. That one, you just kind of, I'm going to show a picture of it on screen. All you got to do is just plug them in that way, and you can have the same inputs that you would normally have on a hitbox. So it'd be up, forward, back, and down. So you get all the normal stuff you would get. It's just you don't have to pull and rearrange pins in order to do so. So this is it. This is for my friend, like I mentioned before. His character, one of his favorite characters. I decided to make it a waifu stick. It is Kurisu, and it's got all the buttons on it are all say Mitsu. As you saw, there were some Mitsu screw-in buttons. Some of them are the transparent, like these ones, and the 30mm, and then some of the other ones are the half, so they got the solid plunger. Or they got the solid body with the transparent plunger. I think it looks fantastic. He loves it. I showed him a picture of it before filming this. He loves it. And yeah, so pretty much how you build this thing is you're going to disassemble it like you would in any video that I've shown. The 6 screws in the back to remove the back. The 6 screws up here to undo the plexi. You're going to unplug everything, all the buttons, the JLF, the Sanwa that you get. You're going to take the Sanwa out, you know, do the whole metal screw, unscrew the ball top and everything. I've shown that in previous videos. You can look at the modding guide if you want to see how to change plexi and everything. The only difference is that you're going to be taking the metal plate that goes under it, the harness. So that's just another 6 screws and that pulls off. And then you would put in the Hitbox metal harness if you got that. You would screw that in to replace the metal harness that is on this one. And then you would put the plexi on top of it. You know, you can install the buttons. Install the buttons after you do that, because there's going to be another metal plexi under, or there's going to be another metal harness underneath the plexi, so that way you can screw it into a metal housing. That is just for structural fortitude. As long as you're not smashing too hard on something like this, the plexi might not break. It probably will after a while if you don't get the metal harness, so definitely do get one of those. After that, I just plugged everything back in like normal. And there's actually one other issue I showed you on, I showed it in the video, or I'll show it right now. When installing this, one of the parts that that the metal harness screws into, one of the posts, actually interferes. It sticks out enough to interfere with this 30mm button. So if you're going to do something like this, you're going to want to take a file, or in my case, I had a Dremel, and you know, I broke out the Dremel. I have no problems whatsoever with dremeling out stuff. So I took the Dremel, I kind of scored it with an X-Acto knife where it needed to be kind of dremeled out. And then I took it a little bit past that, just because I was using screw-in buttons and the washers are a little thicker. So that's what I did. I dremeled it out quite a little bit back. Probably not the proper one. I probably should have used a rotary blade, but I didn't want to go and like, this was just really quick. This is being thrown together. This is coming out before Evo. So I just kind of threw that together, dremeled that out until all the plastic was good and ready to pull off, and I tightened it down, put it back on, worked just fine. So if you're having that issue, so that's not really too much of an issue. So just so you know, if you're going to do something like this, you are going to have to drill or Dremel out some part of your Obsidian in order to fully convert it. The next thing that you're going to do after you assemble all of it, like I showed, is that you're going to go and download it from Arcade Shock's website. They have this listed. It is an SOCD or DC. I keep forgetting. I think it's SOCD. It's a cleaner, basically, so you can't hold multiple directions and block everything in the world like you would in Marvel. If you want to be a cheater, you could not, but do it. It just basically cleans up the input system, so it's not registering multiple inputs at once. And yeah, that's really all you do. You when you plug that in, it's in Chinese, I think, so it's kind of hard to read. But basically, you'll open up that firmware program. It's kind of like updating a Brook board or whatever. You'll hold the PlayStation button down while it's in PS4 mode. You'll hold that down, then you plug it into your computer. It'll register it. It'll pull it all up immediately after you open up the program. You'll do that. You'll plug it in while holding the PlayStation button down. It'll show everything, and then you just click update. And once it's done, you're good to go. So next, we're going to be doing gameplay. I'm going to show you guys some performance on this, and then we're just going to come back and end the video. So we'll see you in a second. So like I said in my initial video for the Hitbox Roblox. So in the Hitbox video, I did say that I really like this, the Hitbox layout. I thought the Hitbox was a great peripheral. And I'm glad that my friend has been using it for so long. He's been taking it out to events. He's been playing on that thing super hard. And I'm happy to present this to him once it's in full working condition. To show him this. He's been wanting to do something like this for a long time. So it's a great thing. The Hitbox is great. And yeah, if you want to do that, everything you need is on Arcade Shock. So go and get you one down in the description. Awesome. I'm Dan. This is HurtboxTV, and that's pretty much the end of the video. Take care. Peace. I also should mention that really I didn't really get into it, mainly because I was still a stick guy. So yeah, I did use the Mixbox a lot, and I did use the Hitbox a lot whenever I get a chance to. It's not that I'm against it. It's just that I really like playing on Korean levers. That's pretty much it. The Hitbox is still pretty cool. The Mixbox is like right over there, just so you know.